So the other day we talked about overmasculation, and I was talking to the fellas about doing too much and overmasculating and, whoop de whoop. But I think that ladies don't realize that we too can over emasculate in a situation with a man. And I think that we don't realize that we're doing it. And we hear all these things, my soft girl era, and I want to be in my soft girl. I want a soft life. But clearly you don't. And I'm going to tell you why. Because a lot of times, as soon as you meet a man and as soon as maybe you're on a date with a man, you start masculating. You start being very, very masculine. I'm going to tell you how. Now, let me preface by saying this. There is nothing wrong with being proud of your credentials. There's nothing wrong with you being proud of how far you've come or certifications or anything that you've done. We're proud of you. But I think that sometimes you're doing too much. Oh, I got this degree and this PhD and this, and can't no man do nothing for me because I'm self-made and I'm independent. And da-da-da. But the question is, think about it. What you're saying is, I don't need you. And there may be a few little boys who haven't come to fruition yet, but a real man, honey, he needs to be needed. I don't care what you heard. I don't care what your mama taught you. And we've been so brainwashed with this I don't need a man thing. The whole feminist movement, and it's just, I'm sorry, and I don't care if you ultra feminist and ultra equal, this ain't for you. I'm talking to the ladies who like being ladies and the ladies who still can admit that you want a man / need a man. We were created to need a man. That does not mean that you cannot survive without one. There is a difference. That doesn't mean that you don't have a mind. That doesn't mean that you don't have intellect. That does not mean that you don't have self-control and none of those things. But you were created to be a helper to a man. Most of us anyway, unless God called you to something different, that's fine. So what happens is you put off these signals and these radars. You're not needed. You're not needed. I'm financially stable. I can provide for myself. Hey, I can do this for myself. Matter of fact, I'm so busy that cooking and cleaning is beneath me. Learning to be quiet and, bridle my tongue is beneath me. And we don't realize, we think that we're doing something good. We think that that's something someone should be proud of. And all the while you're throwing out man repellent, because there is nothing wrong with, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell y'all the life hack for ladies. You get so much more power in your feminine than you do trying to convince this man that you don't need him. And you do it. You know why we do that? Let me tell you, you're self-protecting, babe. You're self-protecting. You don't want this man. You don't want to be vulnerable. That's what it comes down to. You don't want to be vulnerable. You don't want that man to feel like you need him. But why not? What is wrong with saying, hey, I'm tired of, having someone look at my car. I'm tired of changing my tires. I'm tired of eating these meals alone. I'm tired of, not being able to succumb to the flesh. I'm tired of, paying the bills by myself. What is wrong with saying, I really, really think that it's time in my life that I need a man. I need a man that I can submit to. When I was a single mother, y'all better than me. I couldn't wait to say, you know what? I'm tired of being the pilot. I'm ready to be somebody's co-pilot. I am ready to sit in the seat and let somebody drive. But we don't want to let anyone drive. We want to prove that I can drive myself. Well, the problem is too, people can't drive. And you are so busy trying to prove everything that you don't need him for that you don't realize. And you know what? I see this all the time. A woman gets cheated on. I'm not saying that I'm pro-cheating, but follow me. Woman gets cheated on. And yeah, you have this doctorate and this PhD and you did this. And you'll get cheated on with a woman who was supervisor at McDonald's. And you wondering, why would he do that? She's this. She said, you know what? I bet you she knew something that you didn't. She wasn't trying to be the boss. She wasn't trying to be powerful. She led with her feminine. She knew how to listen. She knew how to maybe keep her opinion to herself on some things. She knew how to be soft. She ran bath water. She rubbed feet. She fixed plates. She might have cut the food up and fed him the food on the plate. She did all these things to make him feel like he was designed to feel like a man. And so many times we don't realize that we are emasculating a man by how much that we can do in this and this and this. And again, I am not saying to, not be proud or not, I have daughters. I'm not saying that don't go the extra mile and get your education. And I'm saying when you are looking for a man or open to finding a man, I'm saying we're not leading with those things. You don't lead with that. A man should want a woman that's self-sufficient. Fellas, you want a woman that's self-sufficient. You don't want a woman that can't do nothing for herself. Sure. But you do want a woman that can, because here's the thing. A woman that needs you appreciates you way more. I promise you. She appreciates because she remembers the time that she didn't have one. It's nice to have somebody big and strong open them pickle jars. It's nice to have somebody to, keep you company. It's nice to have somebody pay those bills. And I tell you what, a lot of men, so many men are complaining now, paying bills 50-50. And I think, to be honest, another secret I've learned, a man don't mind doing any of that stuff when he feels appreciated, when he feels wanted. I'm going to tell you something else, when he feels desired. Y'all don't think a man wants to feel desired. Y'all don't feel like a man wants to feel sexy. Y'all don't feel like a man wants to feel motivated. You don't. You feel like all that is designated to you. And it does not. So then the man feels like even more so, the weight of the world is on him because you nag and you could do it this and do it different and do it better. And sometimes I tell you what I've learned, and I'm not saying that I am the best at this just yet. I'm a work in progress myself. But I think so many times you have to go ahead and let your husband fail. Let your man fail. And without, I told you so. And if you would have did it like, be quiet. You shut your mouth and you quietly pray. Now, I'm not saying that a man should want a woman who can, give him good counsel. You better have some good wisdom and some good counsel to give that man. But if he says, hey, I'm going to do it that way, let him do it that way without so I'm going to go behind. Hey, y'all remember on the movie Soul Food when Lim told Bird, I don't need your help finding a job. And she had good intentions, but she went behind his back and tried, got with the ex and tried to give him help him to find a job. Y'all remember they separated. It was a big deal. If you don't remember Soul Food, hey, Soul Food, that's the movie. But that was a powerful lesson. Stay in your place. And women, we don't like that stay in a woman's place, but I'm old school. We do have a place, and our place is to, hey, let that man be a man. Let him be a leader. Let him be your provider. You so busy trying to prove, subconsciously and non-intentionally that you don't need that. Yes, you do. God designed you to need that because when he made Eve, he designed Eve as a helper, not the leader. I'm sorry, baby. Not the leader, not the provider and protector. And sometimes you trying to, in lieu of loving him and thinking he can't do it correctly or I'll just do it. I'm going to get it. I know you told him to put up those shelves 2 weeks ago and he still hasn't done it. Honey, you might have to wait a little while. Is it the hill to down that you don't get your shelves? And did you ask nicely? How did you say it? Or did you say, now I asked you about them shelves yesterday. I mean, we do it. We do it. I am guilty. Instead of, honey, if you don't mind, I really like those shelves hung. And give them something to look forward to. I tell you what, let's do something, or whatever. And, when you hang those shelves, we can celebrate by doing this. Men aren't that complicated. We complicate them. Now, women, we can be a little complicated. Men, not so much. All I'm saying is that emasculation thing, that wasn't just for the men. Women, especially women who look like me, because we live in a world where softness is not something that we have been allowed to be. We have not. Softness is something that, is something that we have to put up, even from our own men. So what we say is, I ain't submitting to no man who I can't be. So, well, what are you even recruiting for? Rest I said recruit. If you feel like that you can't submit to this man or that he doesn't have a good head on his shoulders and that he can't drive you correctly, then you shouldn't be talking to him anyway. You say, hey, little daddy, I like you, but I just feel like this right here, this situation with you, I'll have to take more of a dominant masculine role. And I don't want that. I want to be somewhere where I can trust someone enough to be the driver next to Jesus, of course, definitely next to Jesus. But I think that that's just a tip for us. Hey, lean into your feminine. Ain't nothing wrong. And then let me say this too. I keep seeing on the internet that y'all don't like to bathe. A lot of y'all are saying that y'all don't want a man because you don't want to take a shower. Hey, this laziness, that's got to go. Y'all got to stop that. Y'all don't want a man wants something soft. Soft, smelling good, like a delicate flower. That's what a man. I'm not talking about a DL. I'm not talking about a homosexual in the closet. I'm not talking about a man who hates women. A man. He likes that. That's what attracts him. He like you to put that dress on. He likes you. We have gotten so far from that because we are so afraid. Stop being so afraid and stop guarding yourself and stop self-protecting out of fear. And before you lean into the dating, maybe work on those things so that we will not continue to have this problem. And you can let somebody love you properly.